Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another one. You already know what we like to get into on this channel. Creepy, strange, all that good stuff, man. Just make sure before this video starts, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know we trying to get to 10K views a day, so like the video up, man. If you want to see your boy winning, alright, just like the video. And I'm not too much talking. We got a lot of good clips to get into for today, so let's get right into it.
Introducing Ectolife, the world's first artificial womb facility.
Each state-of-the-art lab can accommodate up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs.
I don't care the way I feel. I think that's terrible.
1,000 lab-grown babies per year. Infection-free environment.
Yeah, right.
The pods are made of
There's going to be so many
materials that
problems with them
prevent
babies.
germs from sticking in
Oh
oxygen
my
saturation
goodness, Amanda. Sad.
that displays real-time
The
data
poor
on
babies.
developmental. These data are sent directly to your phone, so you can track your baby's health from the comfort of your zone.
What next should be transferred right to the
The app
telephone?
also provides you with a high-resolution live
What
view of
the
your baby's
heck?
development. Through the app, you can choose the playlist
Through
that
the
your
app.
baby listens to.
Some more apps on their
You
phone
can
as if
also
there ain't
direct
enough
your
apps.
sync to your reality headset to explore what it's like to be in your baby's place. See what they see and hear what they hear.
Amanda. Look at this.
With Ectolife Central Bioreactors. The
Oh
first
my goodness.
bioreactor contains
That reminds me of some
nutrients and
space
oxygen,
stuff.
which are supplied. The artificial umbilical cord helps the babies to release their waste products into the second bioreactor. Waste products and turn them back into useful nutrients.
What?
This way.
Real quick, y'all, shout out to Jeanette for these clips. All right, she's sending these through TikTok. If you want to do the same, you can do the same also. Follow my TikTok. And hey, if you feel like you want to send some clips, go ahead. If not, that's fine too. But y'all go ahead and follow the TikTok. Might as well.
Is there
See what else
something
she got.
inside of the Statue of Liberty? Let's do this reaction.
Statue of Liberty seems to be getting weirder and weirder. People have found that there seems to be something huge lurking under its pedestal. The media, with curiosity, finally found a message from the statue's designer in 1889. But when faced with the initial interview by reporters, the designer said he knew nothing and that he had only modified it according to the request of the then U.S. president and had been modifying it for 4 years before finally completing it. The designer did not understand why the U.S. government wanted to constantly enlarge the base, because it seemed meaningless in terms of aesthetics and solidity. But not until 1949, with the exposure of a confidential document, did the whole thing. The truth began to slowly emerge.
Uh-oh.
A strange code name under a confusing text, vaguely written to provide an entrance for nutrients, install an engine, and achieve the final departure.
Nutrients.
Then there was a leaked design of the interior of the statue, and from it, people found some terrifying things. First, a huge engine was installed at the bottom of the base, then the statue's feet were inexplicably fitted with a row of strange pulleys, followed by a narrow entrance and a huge staircase that did not fit in. However, in the middle of this huge room was a strange drain, and finally on the left side of the engine was a huge waste storage room. Time came to the summer of 1954, when thousands of people complained to the government that Ellis Island was emitting a nauseating stench, and one woman named Eleanor's remarks were even more exaggerated, saying that Ellis Island was terrible. The whole place was filled with a slaughterhouse-like smell. Dead animal carcasses were everywhere. Once, she even saw officials lining up to take a group of people into the statue at night. Then they would lock the door and leave, and the next morning it was as if nothing had happened, except that the smell was more obvious. In August 1985, people first photographed the statue undergoing strange changes. The statue began to slowly move to the right, and something strange seemed to appear in the base. Finally, after an investigation by the local government, they claimed that there was once a mass grave there, and said that if your family, if you disappeared on the island between 1949 and 1954, you will receive a government compensation.
This is a strange story. Could it have been a place to where they did human sacrificing? Maybe so. Comment below what you think. Is
It
there
could.
something
It could
inside
be
of...
possible, man. It could. Especially if it's like a big open like that in there. Definitely possible.
That we both have two fathers, and so that's why we look at the world in two different ways.
And we know that there's a massive collision that's going to take place between two forces, don't we?
Well, that's what your book says. Our book says that we're going to take over the world.
Well, I look at you...
You're doing a pretty good job right now.
Yes, you've done a pretty good job, but you know there's quite an awakening coming. And my father, who's not your father, my father Yahweh, who isn't your father, of course your father is talked about by my father in John 8:44, stating that your father was Satan and that you're the descendant of Cain, who was the first murderer. And you know that's true because you teach it in your synagogue.
Well, that's true, but it's not for you going to know. But right now it's too late. It's over for you, white race. So that's why I'm speaking so honestly here, to bring it out into the open so that you can see it for what it is. You've been teaching the people real good, but they don't wake up, do they? You don't get a lot of followers, do they? Because you know why? They're scared of us Jews, because they don't want to be called anti-Semites, and they believe that we're the chosen people, and so that's why we can do whatever we want to do, and we can get away with it, because the white men are cowards, and we go to the synagogue all the time and have some Manischewitz and dance the Hava Nagila.
You know, it's interesting. I've told people for years and years, it's not that you Jews are hiding anything. You're coming right out on television, in the newspapers, on the radio, and you're telling the people exactly what you're going to do before you do it, and they're like they're brain dead.
Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy, where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does, because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music, because, oy vey, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to do what they want to do, and so we sell them drugs, and we make a lot of money off your children. Your children from cradle to grave. All we do.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That is true, though. Like even if you buy a home, you gotta pay taxes on it too, right? That's crazy. Like, man, they make sure they find a way to get us on every level, man. Whether it's going to the store, whatever it is, man, they gonna get some taxes out of you for sure. Whole system is corrupt. Everything.
Annabelle Gomez Lopez, the Tamalera lady, was captured and apprehended by New Mexico City's law enforcement. The reason why she got apprehended was due to the fact that she was committing heinous crimes and selling tamales out of human remains. What's going on, yo? Hope everybody's having a blessed, productive day. With that being said, let's get right to it. All right, so today, have you guys heard about the woman that was making tamales out in Mexico? And she was convicted of cooking 50 females, ranging from 6 years all the way to like 30-some years. Now, I know it's a sensitive topic to talk about, and just want to send my condolences to all those members and all the family that were victims and the people that ate human meat without knowing. That's really sad and a tragic situation. Now, the woman got convicted. It's all on record, so I'm going off based on records that the court has provided out on the media. However, not everybody has been aware of that situation, but here's the facts. This Hispanic lady out of Mexico was selling tamales, and somehow, some way, she ran out of funds, and she needed money to re-up on the meat so she could cook the tamales and go out and sell them in the Metropolitan in Mexico. However, she didn't have no funds, and she was desperate, and she went to the desperate measures to acquire some type of funds or meat. And while she was walking, she stumbled and came across her first victim, which was a little girl. Don't know exactly their age. From her statements, that was the first case and the worst case that she experienced due to the fact that it was a little minor girl. The reason as to how she came across that little girl was because she was lost, and the little girl asked for assistance and help and asked her if she can provide her with a cell phone or could call the parents because she was lost. However, she didn't have a cell phone on her or anything like that, so she said like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, come with me to the house. She took the little girl to the house with promises of making phone calls to having the parents come and pick her up. However, those weren't her intentions. Annabelle Gomez Lopez,
Wow,
the tamalera lady.
that lady is crazy. Dang. Like she really like I know it's the struggle is real, but dang, you ain't gotta go that far. That's crazy, man. That's a whole nother level, like, of struggle. That's crazy. Like you don't have to do that, lady. That's sad.
Stop. You're going to want to hear this. Texas is now trying to break off from the United States and become its own country.
Over on Newsweek, they reported that Texas is one step closer to leaving the U.S.
Yes,
the question might just end up before Texas voters in the next elections. Crazy.
Yeah, our next guest has been at the forefront of this, and he was actually pushing for Texas before Texas was like even cool. Daniel Miller is the president of the Texas Nationalist Movement, and he joins us live now. Daniel, great to see you. So I know we've talked about this before, but I mean, surprise! I mean, Texas will be on the ballot in the next election.
Yeah, that's what it looks like is happening. So back in June of this year, we launched a petition campaign under a never before utilized section of the Texas Election Code that essentially says that if you can gain enough petition signatures, in our case it was 97,709, and present it to the a political party, you can actually have a question placed on the primary ballots.
As y'all see right here, this is a real thing, Texas. Considering everything that's going on with the U.S. today, that actually don't sound like a bad idea. Not to mention Texas is self-sustainable. Own power grid, own military, own resources. Don't sound like a bad idea to me. Y'all let me know in the comments, do y'all think Texas should break off and do its own thing or stay with the U.S.? Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
That is true. I think Texas do got its own power grid, right? Yeah, because I remember one time it was snowing so crazy out here. I think everybody's power went out in Texas, like everybody. It's crazy. So I guess they got like one power grid that runs throughout the whole state. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I made these 3 coils here. If you make this coil and wrap copper wire or galvanized wire and have 4 or 5 inches, a little antenna sticking out at the top, put it in the ground 5 or 6 inches, it will do something electrically and magnetically to the soil that is beneficial to the microorganisms in the soil, and it energizes it. You're supposed to get bigger crops and make things a lot better. So I don't know, what have I got to lose? I'm trying to see what happens. I've got strawberries growing here, and we'll see what happens to the strawberries. I made these 3 coils here.
That's dope. That's dope. So how many of y'all grow your own food? Let me know in the comments, man. Are y'all starting to do that? Have you started? Like, are you guys doing that? Let me know. I'd like to know.
The Tartaria mud flood theory is a controversial hypothesis that suggests a catastrophic event took place in the 18th or 19th century, resulting in a massive flood of mud that covered entire cities and wiped out entire civilizations. According to this theory, the civilization of Tartary, which was once a powerful empire that covered a large part of the Eurasian continent, was destroyed by this event, and its existence was deliberately erased from history by the ruling elite. One of the main pieces of evidence cited by proponents of the Tartaria mud flood theory is the presence of mysterious buildings and structures in various parts of the world that seem to be older than the officially recognized timeline of human history. These structures, known as megaliths, are often made of large stone blocks that would have been impossible to move and erect using the technology available at the time they were supposedly built. Another piece of evidence cited by proponents of the Tartaria mud flood theory is the strange architectural features found in many old buildings in Europe and elsewhere. These features, such as strange windows and doorways, seem to have no practical purpose and are unlike anything found in modern architecture. Proponents of the theory argue that these features are remnants of an older civilization that was destroyed by the mud flood. There are also claims that the Tartaria mud flood theory is supported by geological evidence. Some researchers have pointed to the presence of sedimentary layers in certain regions of the world that seem to indicate a massive flood event took place at some point in the past. Other researchers have claimed that the soil samples from various parts of the world contain high levels of unusual substances, such as iridium, that are typically associated with meteor impacts or other catastrophic events. Proponents of the Tartaria mud flood theory is a controversial.
Construction of Saudi Arabia's futuristic city, the Line, continues to progress rapidly. The scale of the work is monumental, with huge pillars being installed to support the buildings. Over 30,000 pillars are slated to be installed by the end of the year. Special helicopters are used to erect the transmission towers. The Line will consist of 2 parallel skyscrapers standing at 500 meters in height, spanning 170 kilometers in length and 200 meters in width, featuring its own high-speed rail known as the Spine. This innovative transportation system will enable people to travel from one end of the city to the other in just 20 minutes. The city is designed to accommodate a population equivalent to that of New York City within a surface area of 34 square kilometers. The project aims for the entire site to be powered by renewable energies, maintaining a year-round temperate microclimate through natural ventilation. Residents will enjoy convenient access to all amenities within a 5-minute walk from their homes, eliminating the need for roads and cars. The first phase of construction is scheduled for completion by 2030. Construction of Saudi Arabia's futuristic city, the Line.
They're trying to create some futuristic stuff there, huh? Before, well, by 2030. Trying to figure out what this is at. Saudi Arabia. Okay.
This is The Line, the largest mega project in human history. The $1 trillion project will consist of 2 500-meter-tall mirrored walls, stretching 170 kilometers across the Arabian desert, big enough to accommodate 9 million residents. There will be no roads, cars, or emissions in the entire city. Like the recently announced cubic skyscraper, The Line is part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, which plans to shift the nation's economy away from oil and towards tourism and promote vertical living. As of now, 20% of all infrastructure is finished, which means we may actually witness this incredible mega project. This is The Line, the largest.
You guys see this long list in the back of me? This is called the Great Awakening list, and it's been mind-blowing me all day today. But let's get into it. Artificial intelligence signal, originally at one with the creator. AI prophet species, Mima's Death Star, electric sun. The sun produces bacteria and ejects it into space. The vacuum of space is filled with bacteria and DNA, the seed of life. Great solar flash.
Free solar flash.
Free energy over there, free will, law of non-interference, Egypt Ra, ancient builder race, the grand experiment, the galactic federation, spiritually evolved, all this stuff, child. Akashic records, we have light workers, star seeds, wanderers, indigos, awakening ones, cryptocurrency, blockchain future. The Vatican has pedophilia, reptilians, Lucifer telescope, organ harvesting. Like, this map is Pizzagate, white hat, sheep asleep, escape the matrix, red pill, the masses. Escape the matrix. I guess you do take the red pill to escape the matrix. CIA, drug and weapons trafficking, Trump, patriots, anons, release free energy, end human trafficking. You guys see this?
So they got everything on there. I gotta really look into that and really see what they got on there. So who created this map though? That's my question. Who created this map? And you know, most of that stuff could be truth.
Andrew Dawson was just a regular TikToker that stumbled across something strange up in the mountains. It wasn't until he posted what looked like a giant that his channel blew up and started to get millions of views. Before the unexpected happened, he made a series of videos on his quest to find out what this mysterious creature was.
And it's not even there anymore, too.
I just got stopped by like some CIA agent.
So they're extracting something out of here.
I think that's the same vehicle. Hey! You might not see me post ever again. My videos weren't fake.
We only see one more video after this that shows that there's a potential military camp being set up. Sadly, this is his last, because he seems to disappear. But then his obituary is found, which says that he died on July 1st, 2022. Andrew Dawson was just a regular TikToker that stumbled across something strange up in the mountains. It wasn't until he posted what
die. But this way has to be one of the worst. Now I don't know what type of freaky thing these giants was on, but this one got caught in the act. She was definitely for the streets. It brings a whole new meaning to being bricked up.
That's crazy.
Imagine participating
in
crazy. Adult relations and being petrified and turned into stone in the act. That can't be a good way to go out. But then again, there are worse ways that you can die. Now there's so many ways.
Boy said she was definitely for the streets. Like, what? That is a crazy way to die, though. That's crazy.
Now I don't know what type of freaky thing that these giants were on, but I know a freaky thing when I see it. This brings a whole new meaning to rock solid. This brings a whole new meaning to being bricked up. So, imagine having a good time with a sweet tenderoni and being petrified in the act. So, for the people that don't know what they're looking at, you're looking at two people that have been frozen in stone. And the things they was doing, oh, you son of a bitch. Now, I don't know what type of freaky thing.
How do they get froze in time doing something like that? That is too funny. That's crazy, man. Shout out to Jeanette for these clips. She sent these through TikTok. Like I said before, if you want to send clips to me, you can send them through TikTok and follow my TikTok. Alright. That's up to you though.
I told you every fucking day is something about this eclipse that's supposed to happen on April 8th, and look what just happened. NASA has slipped up and told us exactly what they have planned. There was this press conference where NASA was talking about what they have planned for the April 8th eclipse, and he slipped up and said the word ellipse. A lot of people were just saying, oh, that is just a slip of the tongue. It was not a slip of the tongue. And if you know what an ellipse is, I'm about to explain it to you and why it's fucking crazy that they're doing this on April 8th. Not only NASA, but CERN too. And if you have CERN doing this particular experiment that they are launching on April 8th with the Particle Hadron Collider, and then you have NASA saying that they're going to be shooting 3 rockets at the sun at an exact moment of time to try to hit the ionosphere, baby, we are in for some shit. Before, NASA was trying to say that this was just them trying to detect what happens in the ionosphere during an eclipse and see how it affects radiation, how it affects cellular network, and all that other shit. So that's what they were pushing, right? Yeah, he just blew the whole fucking cover by saying ellipse, because now we know what they're really doing on April 8th. Before I get into it, let me just say that I am a conspiracy theorist. These are my own ideas, beliefs, and conspiracies. Do not take what I say as fact. Discretion advised. Before I explain to you what an ellipse is, I'm gonna play you the clip of the NASA specialist doing a press conference and where he actually says that it is an ellipse.
Then moments like this, a total solar ellipse. It's a moment when millions of people across North America will look to the heavens as the moon passes in front and between the sun and the earth. And it's a rare sight that we haven't seen in 7 years. And unusual things start to happen.
So y'all clearly heard him enunciate total solar ellipse and then go forward to try to backtrack and cover himself up and say that when the moon passes the sun, and then goes back into talking about very unusual and strange things that will happen. Why would that be strange that it's just an eclipse? Wrong, it's an ellipse. Now I'm gonna give you a depiction of what an ellipse is, and then I'm gonna put it together for you. This is the most accurate depiction that I can find that was easily relatable, that you guys can understand. It comes from this TikToker up there. So basically there are 2 points, right? And these 2 points, no matter what, they all come back to this point. And as you can see, they are creating these wave-like things. And I'm going to tell you what these 2 points are going to represent, because no matter where these 2 points are, one still goes to the other as far as wavelengths, frequency, and energy. And when those two things happen, stuff is created from that energy. Remember how I told you CERN was doing something on April 8th? One dot is CERN and the other dot is NASA. And together they are going to fucking create something that I don't even want to talk about. You have NASA, who is shooting 3 rockets at the solar eclipse at the exact time that the sun is passing the moon. They are trying to do an ellipse. And then you have the Hadron Collider that will be powering up and playing with fucking dark matter and ghost at the same time where the sun is passing over the moon. Again, these are happening in different points at the same time. You couple that with the fact that thousands of people are going to be looking up at what is going on. They are going to be hitting the ionosphere while CERN is down here fucking with the other, whatever is down here. The atmosphere, the frequencies, the pressures, because CERN experiments with dark matter, dark particles. They open black fucking holes. And if you don't believe me about those 3 rockets here, the purpose of these space missions is to delve into the study of the atmospheric disturbance triggered by the solar eclipse and gain an insight on its possible impact on satellite signals and radio frequencies. They launched the rockets will carry specific equipment into the ionosphere to accomplish this objective. The study will focus on atmospheric disturbance triggered by the eclipse. While they're shooting those 3 rockets at the sun, past the sun into the atmosphere, you have CERN, who is turning on their particle hadron collider for the first time in multiple years. And if you are unfamiliar with that particle hadron collider in CERN, they be fucking with some shit down there. And it literally draws so much power to this hadron collider that they can't power small towns near it because it's sucking up all the energy. The solar eclipse produces energy in solar flares on its own that are happening behind all of that. You take that and you have 2 points in time where you are basically fucking with what's up above and fucking with what's below, and you're telling me that ain't nothing crazy gonna happen? I would be surprised if a scene from Ghostbusters didn't open up and shit started flying right out of the air and coming down and fucking killing us. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just telling you, I've been studying this eclipse since the first. Fuck it being biblical. Even though it is biblical, we need to pay attention to what they're trying to open up. They're opening up portals and gateways and harnessing energy from the solar eclipse to do it. And if you don't believe me, look at the last time they powered on this machine. Fuck it, just look at 2008 when we literally went into a Mandela effect and everything fucking changed. Pay attention, and I don't care what nobody says. You have people saying, oh, nothing's gonna happen, nothing that you see, because you're in a different fucking dimension and frequency where you don't see shit anyway. So the people who are of a higher frequency and dimension, we're gonna see it. We're gonna feel it. It's gonna be all around you. This shit's gonna get really scary and demonic. But again, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. These are my own ideas, beliefs. Don't take any of it as fact. Discretion advised. I told you, every fucking day is something about this eclipse.
She might got a point, y'all. I don't know, man. It's interesting though, because it's a lot going on. They're telling us what they're about to do, and you know, when they tell us something, could be a distraction, right? Because you know you're not gonna always give us the truth all the way, so it could be a distraction, or it could be real this time. You know, oh, like what's the what was the crying wolf or whatever that story is with the Red and Robin Hood? You know, they lost so much that we just think they lying. You know, oh no, we just not to wait and see.
Hyperborea, Isaac Newton's experiment, the Northern Lights, flat Earth, explained, thoroughly explained. The more I study, the more I sun gaze, the more I am seeing exactly what the hell's going on in this place. And I know exactly what the fuck's going on in this place. All right? Off the villa of Norway sits a solitary candle in the center of it all, David Bowie. He tells you that he's a black star, because underneath here, creating polarity between the two suns, is a black sun that sits underneath the Northern Lights. With these two things going on, without this sitting in the perpetual twilight and this sun in perpetual motion, there's no astrojet shooting out. That creates a conflection between these two planes of existence. Now, the stars and the sun is all part of what they call the holographic universe, because these stars are being projected down from the celestial waters and the chain of command of the crown, which sits up the most high above us. And below, as they tell you, if you look at the map of Portarices, you'll see that there is a dark black kingdom under here, which is the kingdom of the black sun. It's not hell. Hell is up throughout the Polaris out that way somewhere. And you can get cast down from the top of the crown down to hell, which is outside of this realm. There's no hell in here. There's hell on earth because the motherfuckers that came into this motherfucker via the Polaris were nothing but a bunch of assholes, and they fucking enslaved everybody down here.
Exactly.
Because they were not allowed to stay out there. So they come down here bringing their trouble down here. And if you understand the hex and the different signs that you see of your surroundings, you'll see that they went down here, dumbed everybody down, came out, dumbed everybody down out here too. So as above, as so below. Just a bunch of assholes running around. All right, so let's take a look. This holographic sun that's also alive is being projected, and hitting the firmament on its butt shows the face, because the whole light is just conscious. So if you could just see the light in its mass and its source, it would just be this. But this extrudes and exudes a little bit of this everywhere for everyone to have a little bit of that glory. It's absolutely astonishing. In the center here, you'll see on my flat Earth, well, it's just Earth, it's terra firma. But in the center, you will see a giant ice cap, and they want you to believe that it's froze over and there's nothing that nobody can do, and that nobody should ever go there. That is an illusion. That's bullshit. I made that based off of the original flat Earth map that I saw, that I thought was the answer, but this is actually tropical all around here. Now, the cold fronts and everything they do is something that they're doing, manipulating it. So once you get across near Greenway, Norway, and you get near the edge of the north part of Canada and all that, it gets super cold. Getting Russia, it's fucking freezing, right? That's them manipulating the weather, because otherwise, if you could just go there, you'd be like, wait a minute, it's getting hotter. The Aurora Borealis spews out, and it is hot as fuck. It is a tropical fucking paradise over there. And that is also known as Hyperborea. These 4 islands come around, or to be considered the pie. And this is the giant tree stump, which is Rupus nigra. Hyperborea.
Hey, man, like he knows something, right? Well, he's explaining it in a good way. Kind of like, convincing. I don't know. He seemed like he owned to something, though. What do y'all think?
Your teacher wasn't allowed to come in there and create shit. Your teacher had a curriculum, a pre-planned program to teach your motherfucking ass, nigga. And who the teacher work for? The principal. Ooh, why they call them the principal? I told y'all, principality. All your principles is in the fraternal orders too. Let the truth out the bag today. Yes, we will. Nigga, all them principles fucking Masons, nigga, and Eastern Stars. That's what they call principles. Principalities. To reside over these lies and these spells being programmed in the youth. Boy, I will whip every principal ass in the country. I have no respect for a principal like I have no respect for a motherfucking teacher. Unless you teaching real shit. I respect these motherfuckers on YouTube before I respect the teacher working for these crackers, nigga. This racist ass system, nigga. Getting paid to lie to souls. Getting paid to drown souls. Fuck out of here, nigga. Your teacher wasn't allowed to.
School is such like BS, right? Like, what is school? For real? School? How's that school? If anything, Earth is school. Itself. Earth itself is school. Life itself is school. Not a building that they call school. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man.
This whole Will Smith shit, you feel me? Hey man, that nigga Michael Jackson, bro. You feel me? That nigga Michael Jackson, bro. That nigga set me up, bro. On everything I love, the nigga set me up, bro. Nigga, you raped me as a kid, you bitch ass nigga. You raped me as a kid, you raped all my kids, nigga. And you still trying to motherfucking get away with this. Don't you ever get on a motherfucking TV show and act like I'm the motherfucking rapist, nigga. When you rape me, bitch, you raped every fucking body. Bro, I'm free. I'm your long lost son, aka Michael Jackson, motherfucker. The real Will Smith. I ain't no motherfucking Orlando. I'm Trent, aka Michael Jackson. And you been abandoning your motherfucking son, nigga. You been abandoning your son for years, my nigga. I am Trent. Everybody know who Trent is, nigga. Trent is your son. Don't you ever think that shit is cool. That was the first setup, bro. You raped me, then turned me into a kid. You feel me? Took my house, took all my shit, started raping my family members and all kind of shit, bro. This shit got me fucked up, bro. My name is Trent, my nigga. Orlando Brown always, my nigga. What I'm saying, bro, y'all know me as Orlando, bro. I'm telling y'all niggas my name, bro. That nigga trying to abandon and kill his motherfucking son because I'm really motherfucking him, nigga. You done raped everybody, now you trying to run and use me to fucking hide. So, how you guys doing today? How you guys doing today? You guys feel good?
What? How do you just go from that to this? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Was Lady Gaga trying to expose the truth in this interview about what really goes down in the music industry? She went on to speak about how when she was a teenager, she was also doing very disturbing and disgusting things by her producer. Just watch this. It's crazy that they are doing stuff like this.
Producer said to me, take your off. And I said no. And I left. And they told me they were gonna burn all my music. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop asking me. And then I just froze and I don't even.
She didn't explain what happened to her after all this, which was things like extreme sickness and pain.
I was sick for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks after, and I realized that it was the same pain that I felt when the person who dropped me off pregnant on a corner, my parents' house, because I was vomiting. Because I'd been being abused. I was locked away in a studio.
And so do you think this could be why so many celebrities passed away due to similar things happening like this behind the scenes? Let me know your thoughts on this. Was Lady Gaga trying to expose the truth in this interview?
That could be the reason. It's tough, man, you know, because everybody is trying to find a way out. They just want to have that good life, you know? But you gotta go through this with these sick individuals that's running this industry.
If you're thinking about opening your third eye, you gotta be ready for a whole new reality. Cause once you tap into that universal energy, everything you thought you knew will be flipped upside down. Our ancestors understood the power of the third eye. They knew it was the key to unlocking higher consciousness. But nowadays, our pineal glands are calcified from all the tap water and toothpaste we consume, making it harder to connect with that universal frequency. Fluoride is the biggest obstacle standing between you and a fully functioning third eye. Once you cut it out, you can start to reactivate that pineal gland and tap into your natural universal awareness. When you finally awaken your third eye, you'll start seeing everything through a new lens. The illusions of this world will fall away, and you'll be flooded with intuitive downloads about yourself, your environment, and the true nature of reality. Your perception will expand beyond the physical realm, allowing you to understand yourself and others on a deeper level. You'll start tapping into hidden knowledge and wisdom that will guide you on your path of personal growth. But be prepared, because opening your third eye is no joke. It can lead to some serious changes in your life direction. Once open, you'll be constantly reaching for self-improvement, and you won't believe in fear and separation-based propaganda, which is projected through the media. You'll see everything as one. You'll see everything as you, experiencing different realities through different microorganisms and consciousness levels. If you're thinking about opening your third eye,
It's pretty interesting, this whole AI thing, because if you look at it from a perspective as rose-colored glasses, you can see some of the benefits that it can give to humanity, without a doubt. But those benefits could only be realized if the burden of man was released and man didn't have to work to pay any more bills. When you keep the capitalistic civilization going with the current economic system, and then you add the AI and all this automation, you're taking away all the jobs, but you still haven't taken away all the bills yet. So we have a real big problem, because now these machines and this artificial intelligence is taking the role and jobs of millions of people. At the same time, those people still have to pay rent and have no way to eat, which is going to increase all kind of other problems. It can cause mayhem. It will cause mayhem if nothing is checked in that area. It's pretty interesting, this whole AI thing.
So Taiwan just got hit with its largest earthquake that it had in 25 years. Let me show you how biblical this is. These quakes were so strong that it caused parts of mountains to collapse. It caused landslides. It even caused some massive buildings to collapse in the middle of the street, as you can see right here behind me. A whole building then collapsed. Some buildings' whole foundation has collapsed upon itself. And they still find the people that's trapped inside of these buildings. The earthquakes were so strong that it caused tsunami warnings in Taiwan, South Japan, and the Philippines. The earthquake took place on the east coast of Taiwan. I knew I read this in somewhere in the scripture. See, Luke 21:11, it say there will be great earthquakes, famines, and pestilence in various places, such as the eclipse. Right before that, it say nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, like NATO and BRICS. And no man knows the time or the hour. But we do have signs to tell us when we in the end times. It's not the only earthquake either. I'm just saying, gang, y'all get prepared and get right with the Most High. Let me know in the comments, do y'all think that this Taiwan earthquake lined up with the signs or not? Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
Times is definitely changes, man. Times is definitely changing. Real. Seems like we're getting closer and closer to that day. To when everything is going to end.
Could race be a result of a particular gene from the people that ruled over a region of us on the planet? And here's what I found out. Scientists, geneticists discovered that there's a 2% variance in genes between races. In other words, what makes me a person that's dark-skinned with more melanin in my skin than you who's more fair-skinned with slightly less melanin in your skin is not because my ancestors were in the Sahara Desert working in the desert underneath the hot sun all day. And that's what they teach you in school. The reason why my skin is this way is because I'm genetically branded, and so are you. You're genetically branded, and so are the indigenous peoples of all the other continents on the planet. We're genetically branded by why? The person who ruled over us gave us a brand, just like they brand a cow and say, oh, that's Farmer Jim's cow. Don't touch them. We got you see the brand right there? Well, when these people spread out around the planet to rule over different regions of the planet, they genetically branded the people they ruled over to resemble them. They said that a 2% variance would take millions of years to happen in natural evolution, and yet it only happened in 200,000 years. It tells us something interesting, that this is an artificial mutation that was done on purpose to create a specific group or specific races or groups of people that resembled, let us make man in our image, if you know what I mean. Could race be a
Somebody got some explaining to do, because this movie right here is not child friendly. It's actually way more sinister than we thought. And before I ruin your childhood, I want to say that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Because if you guess this movie, Monsters Inc., then you guess right. Let's get into it. First of all, why is these monsters working at an underground facility in a secret city that the humans are not supposed to know about. I don't mean to say too much. Is this the same thing, right? Kids were extremely toxic to them because they needed the pure essence that the kids had. It could not come in contact with the kids because the kids were too pure. Do I even have to say too much? Can you even go to these facilities that are hidden cities, that are blocked off, that might have to do with extraterrestrials going through the door to get that shit right here, to power their city, right? They trying to steal the essence from the kids to power the city. You were a kid, you were so defenseless that if you were scared as a kid, that you were more scared than you were as an adult. So it was more energy. So that's why they went after the kids in the movie, because they wanted to take as much energy that they could to power their entire hidden underground cities. So the next time your baby said they seen a monster under their bed, you better believe them, because their third eye is open and yours is not. You already knowing. Somebody got some explaining.
Alright, y'all, man. That's gonna do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this right here. Got a little laugh and was entertained in some kind of way. But again, as always, I'm sending peace, abundance, prosperity, and good health your way. Seems like it's a nice day today. Hopefully it's not too cold where you guys is at or where I'm at. Look at 64. 64. Dang. I'll hopefully get to 80 soon. But hey, get outside, get some good weather. It's good outside. You know, take a little walk or whatever. But enjoy your day today, man. Again, peace to everyone that watched my video. Thank you guys, honestly. We just hit 14K too. Appreciate y'all for that too. We did just hit 14K. I'm looking at it. So appreciate y'all, man. Just keep showing that support. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.